Hello team. Hello and welcome to an art video, something that I have not done in I want to say months, but I think actually it might be years. I don't know really if you can count sketchbook tours as art videos, but here we are. It's a speed paint, something that I think is kind of dead, but like not really. I mean, like it's still like draw with me. I mean, those things still exist, right? Anyways, I've been getting into traditional art a lot more again, and so I wanted to share this process with you. You can see my head. Sorry for popping in my noggin once in a while. But yeah, I have green hair. At the moment, which is very trivial and not at all relevant to this video, but I hope the audio quality will come out nice because I'm speaking directly into my phone as I have forgotten my microphone at home. And yeah, I'm also speaking very quietly because I'm really awkward because I am in my new home, my new flat that I share with my flatmates, and I don't want to be awkward, but I am, so yeah. Oh my god. I have a list of things that I want to talk about because I've kind of, I mean, you know, I don't really like oversharing anymore that much, but I also kind of missed talking about literally anything, because I think it's always good to like get it out of my system, you know? So, yeah, this is what I want to do. Grab a cup of tea, a snack, or just water or coffee, or I don't know, a glass of wine if you're legal and enjoy drinking once in a while, or maybe, you know, don't do that, I don't know. But yeah, I will, yeah, I guess I will just start talking then. So I'm going to start with the drawing itself, or the painting that I'm working on in this video, and it's really just very straightforward. It's not that deep. Really, it is kind of deep. That's like the whack thing about this. I don't know if you can say, I don't know if you can use that word, but I've been saying this all the time in German, so I'm just going to continue saying it in English. It really has no meaning, but I keep saying it all the time. Yeah. The drawing itself, back to the drawing. It's mice, just cute cottagecore mice, sweet little babies. I have always liked like anthropomorphic mice. That's kind of a weird statement, but you know how mice are my favorite animals in the whole world. And there are so many anthropomorphic mice media out there. For example, the Red Wall book series by, I've forgotten who wrote those books, but I never read those books. I just watched the cartoon when I was little, and it was like all about mice being fancy in like a very medieval high fantasy setting. Not really high fantasy, I don't think magic was really involved that much, more like in a mystical sense. But I don't think any of the people there could like do magic, but I don't know, it's been a while, it's been like years, if not a decade. Oh my god, I'm old. Anyways, yeah. Right, then you also have like Bernard and Bianca, I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's like the mice police. That's like, you know, isn't that a Disney movie? I'm not sure. But you got that, and you also got like tons of different like mouse movies. So yeah, but there's also just people like drawing mice in cute clothes, like anthropomorphically, and I have no idea who those people are, but I've always wanted to be one of them. And I feel like with this illustration I've like fulfilled this dream. So yeah, I loved how someone on my Instagram, a friend of mine, dear Dre, commented that I mean, she just wrote like mice cult, mice cult, mice cult, and they do kind of look like a cult, or at least like a magical society. In my brain they were going to a magic school together, but I guess a cult is like just as good. So yeah, they're a group of tiny mice, and I love them so much, and I want to hang them on my wall, but I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, I really want to draw more mice like this, or like even in like a more realistic style, because this is very cartoonish, and most of those anthropomorphic mice I've been talking about were pretty realistic, but just walking on their two like hind legs, if that makes sense. But like I'd actually have to study mouse anatomy in order to be able to do that. So and we all know how I feel about studying anatomy. Anyways, yeah, I guess that's it about the drawing itself. I'm really happy with it. It's really something different and something I've always wanted to try, and I'm really hyped for doing more of this. I'm also really enjoying watercolor at the moment, so that's really great because it's very effortless and still traditional, and I do still enjoy traditional media a lot more than digital media, but digital is just like a lot easier to do for me because I've been doing it for so many years, like non-stop, and yeah, traditional art has just been coming second for years, and that's kind of sad, but we're getting back into it, boys. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the drawing itself. I think maybe I'll keep you updated if I have like something to add, but yeah, I guess next I kind of just want to talk about my art goals for 2021 and this channel in general, because I've had this channel for also at least a decade, which is so crazy to think. I mean, I've not really uploaded consistently like ever but I remember being in like my very first art community on YouTube when I was a baby. I think I was 11 or 12, so not entirely a decade, but almost, like really close to a decade. And I actually made friends there, and I still kind of occasionally talk to two of them, which is insane. Like, we were babies back then. I was the biggest baby, and now we're like all adults, so that's crazy. I kind of wish I knew what the rest of them were doing, but yeah, I have memories of that, and also I'm just always really want to get back into posting here. I say that all the time, and then I never end up doing it, but I have faith that I'm going to do it now, or at least once my semester break starts, because I am a student now. I go to university, which is also crazy. I'm going to talk about this a bit later, but yeah, I guess since I was like rejected from art schools, which was, now that I think about it, are usually for me, I'm really free with what I want to do, and I guess I'm not holding myself up to like really high standards in terms of development. I just want to go with the flow and work on the projects that I really like. So I'm currently rewriting my book, the book that I started writing when I was 14, which I'm also going to get into later because it's also relevant to this video. Yeah. And I'm also working on a bunch of different things. I really want to get into like drawing comics all of a sudden. So I'm drawing one. It's horrible because in every panel my art style changes, and I have no idea how to even set panels, so I will learn that. I also want to like have a graphic novel, or like I don't know, like illustrations in a novel, if that makes sense. Anyways, yeah. I guess my goals aren't really clear. My goals are just very arbitrary and just going with the flow, now that I noticed that I don't really have goals when it comes to art. I mean, I do, but like not really like I'm going to do this and that this year, which I guess is pretty liberating. I just want to keep on doing art despite uni, which I think is pretty realistically now that I think about it. But yeah, I think the biggest and probably also the most relevant thing I want to talk about here is what I want to do with YouTube. Like, what exactly I want to do with YouTube. And I've thought about that yesterday, or I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot in general, but there's just so many things that I've always wanted to try but never had the guts to, and I think that's stupid. I think something's holding me back from pursuing this more, which is, I don't know, my life, real life people, bad experiences I've had, or I don't know, fears that I have constantly. So yeah, but I have things that I think I grew a lot and I can deal with things differently or better now. So I'll just try. And also there's like really no harm in doing these things that I really want to do, which would be obviously more art content like this one, because this started out being an art channel and it's not an art channel anymore. It's like my personal diary, which is fine. Not really into that anymore. I mean, I'm talking to you right now about things that like exclusively are about me, so it's kind of still like talking to a diary, but not as much anymore. I mean, I still really like vlogs, but I think that they do more harm than good for my mental health, so I'd rather do more planned out things and things where I can control more, if that makes sense. Oh my god, my Capricorn's showing, I'm so sorry. Yeah, but that's basically the plan. And also, yeah, I don't know where the art content's going. I'm going to keep doing sketchbook tours, definitely. But yeah, aside from that, it's just going to be whatever, honestly. At least regarding art, because I mean, there's also fashion content that I've always wanted to make, but yeah, at the moment I really don't get all dressed up. I'm at home all of the time, doing online uni. I'm so sorry, I just ate. I'm at home all of the time doing online studies and uni and stuff and chores, so I don't really get dressed up a lot. I hope this will change in summer when I can actually go out again, because it's not freezing cold. But yeah, so maybe this will come someday, but I really doubt it, to be honest. Am I talking in this video? Am I singing? I have no idea. But like, the fact that you can see my face from this very stupid angle kind of makes me mad. Anyways, I'm getting so sidetracked. Anyways, so art content and fashion content are two of the things I want to do. And then the two bigger things that also require a lot of planning, I guess, but are two things that I really am really excited to do if I ever get down to it, really. But that's the plan. Those two things are, first of all, talking about my main story that I'm currently rewriting. For those of you that are not familiar with me or my story at all, because only my friends are really, I started writing an adventure story, a fantasy adventure story, and I started writing that in, I want to say 8th grade, so 2015, I think. Yeah, 2015. It's turning 6 years old this summer, which is crazy. And for some reason, the story just has stuck with me and it has developed, and it's now probably my life's work, which is very bold to say for someone who's 20 years old, but I really want to get this published someday, or do something with it, have it reach people. I really want people to care about it, which is stupid, but yeah, because I care about it a lot and I want people to know about it. So I thought maybe I would introduce y'all to my main story properly and just not really get into the detail about the plot, because, you know, I still want people to read it once it comes out, if it ever comes out, which I really hope it will, but we will see. I also don't know if it's ever going to be released in English, because I mean, maybe it'll someday get released in German, because I'm writing it in German, because I'm obviously more well versed in it since it's my mother tongue. But yeah, hopefully people will be able to read it someday, so I don't want to spoil the entire book for y'all. or the books rather. It's like, it's, if everything goes as planned, it's like gonna be multiple books, which is yeah. But yeah, I really want to explain a bit like the lore and the story and the world building, which sucks. I really need to stop talking down on myself so much, but basically my main story, which is called What If, or Was wäre wenn in German, which is also like the most cringiest title, but I cannot really change it now because it's stuck with me for 6 years, which is bad. It's okay. My main story, What If, is basically like the most generic magical realism historical fantasy story set in a really weird parallel universe world that is basically just a continent that's pretty similar to our Europe, but also really not, which is something I'm still working on. And the story is just about, you know, typical, I guess probably not really young adult. It's not really a young adult story. But it's like, you have the protagonist, and she is new to the world and wants to find out why the world is as bad as it is, and like there had been a war previously between magicians and human society, and now everyone hates magic and is trying to get rid of magic everywhere. Not really, but society's kind of trying to move away from this mindset of having magic be bad, but there are some countries that literally still kill magicians and magic people, and she's kind of like trying to navigate this entire world along with her friends, and someday maybe find a way to make it less of a shit show, I guess. And that's kind of the story. It has like too much politics in it, and I'm really bad at politics, so I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but it's fun. It's like, the more I think about it, especially now since I'm rewriting it, it's a lot more about the characters, like the individual stories and the character relations, much more than like about the politics stuff, which is good, but it's also kind of, I cannot completely stray away from it because they still live in the society that's like very bad and shit, and I need to explain why it is the way it is, so that's where the politics come in. But yeah, so I want to talk about that more in detail maybe, and also about the magic system, because I'm pretty proud of the magic system, honestly. It still needs very, very much polishing. It's a pretty soft magic system, which is not bad, you know, magic systems can be good, but I want to make it make sense at least, you know? If it is as soft as it is, I want to give a reason for why it is as soft. But yeah. And I could also talk about the characters like as individuals, maybe. I don't know if I would make like a video about each character, which was probably a bit overkill. But yeah, maybe like my core four I will explain to you in one video, and their relationships between each other, and then I don't know if I'll get into detail about the side characters at all. There are so many and I keep adding them as I write, which I can barely keep track because my brain is the size of a pea, but that's okay. Yeah, so that's something that I want to kind of get into detail about. I don't know how I will design the videos, so to say. If I would like make them like art rambles like this one, where I would draw something about the story or of the story, like draw character sheets or draw illustrations and then talk about the story as I go, or if I would make them more like make sense, like explain videos, I will probably try and make like diagrams and maps and stuff so it's easier to comprehend, but yeah. So we'll see where that goes. I do have people already interested in this, which, you know, this is like one of the biggest compliments you can make me. Just like be interested in my story. It's that simple. I will love you forever and cherish you in my heart. That's as easy as it is to gain my affection, basically. So I will basically just love you if you love my children. Yeah, so that's really something I've been wanting to do for a while, but never really had the guts to. And then when God, this is another thing. When we recorded the art podcast, which I never uploaded because the file got corrupted and I was too lazy to try and fix it, and I'm also too lazy to re-record it with the gang. But I really want to make an art podcast. I really still want to do this, and I was so close to doing it and it just didn't work out. So maybe I'll try this again. I don't know if the gang will still be up to do that with me, but yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, anyways, when we recorded this episode of the art podcast that will probably never see the light of day, people were like, we were basically brainstorming ideas for the art podcast, and I was like, y'all, I know you have main stories as well, like universes that you're really proud of, and maybe if you want to, we can talk about them, and you can share a bit about them, and we can have discussions and stuff, like that would be really fun. And to my surprise, a majority of these people knew about my main story and asked me to talk about it, and I was very flustered because this means a lot to me. So I know people would watch this if I ever put it up, so I probably will. But yeah, that's one of the things that I want to talk about. My computer is doing whack things. Wait a second, I will be back. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's basically all I can say about my story for now. I really want to do cannot speak. Kinda lost my red thread there. I'm sorry. Alright, the last and probably most prevalent things of this is I really want to slowly work my way towards video essays, because video essays are some of my favorite content to consume on YouTube. Now, I say slowly make my way towards them because I will not produce very well researched and designed and put video essays yet, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I will also not call the things I do video essays for now, because that would kind of like diminish the value that video essays have, and I will only call my videos video essays someday if they actually are video essays, which there's a difference between talking about a subject and actually having a video essay, because that needs to be researched. You need to have sources and stuff, and I'm not really ready to do that yet. But the exciting thing is I go to uni and I study art, music, and media, which means it's a scientific study program, humanities, so I basically study art history, music science, and media science, which is cool because I get to study what I like most or a lot, and it's really, really cool because I really enjoy the study program. But also it's fun because I can actually use this in my hobbies, like it's not just going to be like a potential career point for me, but also I just enjoy thinking about media and art, and also music, in fact, which I struggle a lot with still because I have no idea what music theory is all about, but I'm studying, I'm learning, and it's really interesting and rewarding, and I feel like I've learned a lot in just a few months. So, video essays. I think it would be really interesting to start doing video essays or video essay-ish videos now, and see how I progress during my studies if I continue doing these, so I can see how my scientific work gets like more good, better. Oh god, like I already failed at language, but that's okay. So I think that would be a really interesting project to tackle. And now the question is, what would I even talk about? And I think I've also talked about that before. So one thing that I want to talk about is magical girl stuff, because there are so many values and lessons to learn from magical girl shows, and I've overanalyzed them for years now. And I want to talk to y'all about it. I already have like a script written for one of the videos, and it's kind of good. I think it's pretty decent. So I guess the first thing I would be potentially talking about would be Fushigiboshi no Futago Hime, which I don't know if any of y'all know that show, but you will if I talk about it. Because it's really good. It's like a children's show, like kindergarten children, but that's okay. It's really, really, really well written, and so I want to talk about that. I will also talk about Princess Tutu at some point, Hakuto Precure again, or other Precure shows, or I really want to talk about Revolutionary Girl Utena, but I think this, like if I want to make it like scientific, is something for later, I guess. For when I actually know what I'm talking about, basically. And then there's more things that I really want to talk about, video essay wise, which would be, I could talk about music. There's something I want to try in my semester break when I have like a bit more free time. I want to practice musical analysis. Oh my god. I want to practice musical analysis, and I thought it would be fun to maybe make like a tiny musical analysis of Bacc Galaxy, which is a soundtrack from Super Mario Galaxy, which just makes me cry every time, more even than Gusty Garden Galaxy, which is more popular, I think. And I think it would be fun to just try and figure out why it makes me cry, aside from the obvious nostalgia factor, but also just like the music theory behind it, you know? I think it would be fun for me to discover if I can actually figure that out with everything that I've learned so far. And it would also probably be fun for people that know that track and feel the same way about it as I do. So yeah, that's like some of the things I want to do. I don't know what else there would be, but I will figure that out as I go, I guess. And I really, really want to do this because I've been wanting to try and tackle like video essay-ish things for years now. So yeah, this is like an overview of what I'm planning to do with this channel, I guess. Yeah, it's I guess a promise to myself, this video. I can look back on this and hold myself accountable, I guess, for if I got to do what I wanted to do so badly in like a year, or if I'm still too timid and shy to use this platform in a way that I really want to. But yeah, that's it for now, I guess. If you've sat through this entire thing, congratulations, you have won my undying love and affection. And I hope you will also sit through more of my videos in the future. Possibly my not really video essays, not video essays. They are not video essays. They will not be video essays. Or if it's just art videos like this and you just watch them while you draw yourself. Or if you are interested, you watch the videos that I'm hopefully going to make about my main story, which would be so nice. But yeah, I will say goodbye to you now. So thank you for watching. I hope to see you on this channel again soon. And I hope you like this illustration that I did of a mouse cult. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. And I hope you have a pleasant week, month, year, a pleasant old time till we see each other again. So, goodbye, team!